Hello and welcome to another episode of Backstage GW, the only place where you'll find sneak peeks of George Washington University's most exciting on-campus performances. This week we're going to take a look at the most talked about theatrical event of the season, Hair the Musical. But first, let's look at GW Ballroom's biggest event yet, Dancing with GW. The competition gave us a unique chance to see some of GW's most famous staff members in a new light, the spotlight.
February 9th at 8 p.m. and it costs $5 and you can pay with your G World. Dancing with GW is an idea that has been floating around GW Ballroom for years, and we decided at the beginning of the end of last semester that we were going to try and make it happen. So we've been working throughout the entire summer to organize our teams.
So I'm a first-year law student at the George Washington Law School, and I help choreograph the routines for both Grace Henry and Steve Roach.
Word spread about Dancing with GW. We had a huge influx of staff who wanted to participate.
I am the director of the second year experience in the Center for Student Engagement. Let me do it 1 second. I'm just going right back to that. Prefer probably about 1 more month of practice, but I'm excited to do it. I'm excited for friends and family to see me differently. It's exciting. It's definitely out of my comfort zone, and I appreciate that.
So we sent out nominations at the beginning of this project, and then once we got people confirmed, we paired them up based on the style of dance they wanted to do, and of course their height.
I dance competitively in both standard and Latin dances, and so I came here and I saw that they had a team, so I wanted to help out a little bit.
What style they performed was really up to the star, and then we worked around what they wanted to do.
We are doing somewhat of a Bollywood theme with our song, and so we're going to try to reflect that as accurately as possible.
I think we started off just by throwing a couple songs around that we kind of liked, and then went from there. I know we switched our songs early in the stage of the choreography, just because we thought the Bollywood thing would be a lot more interesting for the audience to see.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think we started in November, actually starting to rehearse, and so initially we probably practiced about once or twice a week for about 2 hours each. And I think now that we're a little bit closer, we try to practice at least every day or every other day for about 2 hours, sometimes a little bit more.
There's other things that are just clean up the arms a bit. Man, it's 10 things and
yeah, no. Yeah, so we're working on it where we can.
Both my couples have gone incredibly, better at this, and it's only been 6 weeks or so. So I'm very, very proud of all the work they've done.
Being able to actually balance working all day and also rehearsing and then going home and having a life. Right. So it's not necessarily stressful, it's just a matter of being very intentional with my time.
The biggest challenge in organizing this event was getting the teams of 3 people, which include our star, who is either an administrator or professor or staff at GW, our GW Ballroom partner, and our alumni coach, all in the same room at the same time, and learning how to dance.
Trying to come up with 2 minutes of ballroom choreography for people who just started dancing is actually a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, especially making a routine that is fun for the audience as well as doable for the dancers involved.
Just look out forward.
So I think that was, on top of finding space, that was probably the biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge is the challenge that many student organizations face, which is space. And I work in a Center for Student Engagement, so I'm always talking about space on campus. And so the biggest challenge is even when I had time to practice, I couldn't necessarily find the space to.
It's a lot of logistics, and with taking our team to competitions and organizing our regular practices as a team, it's an extra level of work that took a lot of thinking about.
One of the most controversial musicals of all time, Hair, was brought to life in the Betts Theater by the GW Theater and Music departments. I was so excited to hear that GW was doing this show this semester, and Samantha Schnurr and I were allowed backstage to see one of their final dress rehearsals. You'll love what we saw. Check it out. Let the sun shining, the sun shining. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine, the sun.
George Washington University's theater department has been gearing up for their greatly anticipated performance of the American tribal love rock musical, Hair. Director Roberta Gaspare allowed us backstage for a sneak peek at this lively and moving production. Hair explores the significant cultural changes of the 1960s as it focuses on a tribe of hippies. The musical's themes of love and peace, in contrast with the violence in Vietnam, struck a chord with Kayla Knapp, who plays Sheila.
Well, Sheila is a student activist, and I think I'm definitely like her in that I fight for what I believe in, and I think that's really important to do. And obviously in the 60s they had their own set of issues, and now we have our own set of issues, and that's definitely something I have in common with her. And she is really the voice of the student revolution. She's the voice of the activist movement. She's, you know, in the show to be this selfless person that is concerned with a cause that is so much larger than herself or anyone around her.
Are we just pretenders in a world we made? Where's the heart of you and me? I need a friend.
I'm Harry high and low. Woo! Don't ask me why. Don't know.
My character is an 18-year-old guy who's like new to this tribe, kind of like in the search. He's like kind of a bit of a misfit, but he feels like these are his people. He fits in very quickly, and unfortunately with the time, a lot of people are getting drafted off to war, and then that's like where the show like starts to get more interesting, and he just doesn't really know where to go from there.
All you have to do is give up all desires. All you have to do is stay home, stay home, stay home.
First look at the show, it's kind of weird. You see all these numbers and all these actions, and just kind of realize how rebellious a lot of this stuff was in 1968. You kind of got to add that weight to it. That you have to understand why there's so much weight attached to a lot of this stuff.
Happy birthday to me. Bang! Bang! Bang my ass! I ain't dying for no white man.
Like, change is possible, love is possible, and if we just connect with each other and forget about everything, like all the technology and everything that gets in the way of our lives, and just truly love each other, then peace is possible. That's what I'd love for them to take away. And I hope they like the show too. I hope it's a fun ride.
Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in, the sun shine in.
Today we're joined by a talented student playwright whose play You Can't Be Successful If You Graduate from College will premiere on March 5th at the Lisner Downstage. Welcome to the show, Stephen Brady. Hey Stephen, how are you?
Good, how you doing, Henry?
Good, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
So, you must be pretty excited with this play coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up on Monday, like you said. So
March
that'll be
5th?
good. Yeah, March 5th.
Lisner Downstage.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. All right. And how much is it going to cost me?
Probably nothing. I think it's free.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
I guarantee you the money will not go to a good cause. So feel safe in that.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be giving you my money, Stephen. I don't know if I trust you.
No, it's better me than someone you don't know.
That's true. The devil you know. So tell us a little bit about the show.
I guess the show is about every young person's first midlife crisis, where they decide what they want to do in college, or every middle-class first person's life crisis. Whoever goes to college and worries about what they want to do. So it's about someone contemplating dropping out.
All right, and is that personal experience that you've gone through?
Yeah, I actually was thinking about it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but I didn't, because the Padres, they pay the bills, kind of would cut me off.
So what happens to the character in the show? Does he make the same decision?
We can leave it as a cliffhanger. You gotta leave it. If I've seen anything about movies, it's even if it's unnecessary, you gotta leave some for people to argue about on the way home.
True, and plus, I mean, you want to leave that sequel option open,
yeah,
right?
Of course. You could put like dinosaurs in it or something, and it would be. Oh, I don't even know where I was going with that.
I'm not sure, but that sounds like a very plausible sequel plot, since most of them don't make sense. So is this isn't your first foray into playwriting? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I've tried to write short plays before, but this is the first one that I've actually fully written. So I have another one that I'm working on right now called A Space Oddity, which is about the first trip to the moon, and it's a comedy.
Right, I think I definitely saw a reading of that, right?
Yeah. Let's Write Plays did it. Christine Alexander, she's taken over. GW students have a little initiative where they try and get people to write short plays and then produce them. And it's really good. It's gives people that may not necessarily get their stuff produced a great outlet for their music.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you been writing plays?
Since this beginning of this summer.
Oh, okay.
It's not really been a long time thing. I just really I think it's a very cathartic experience to write a play. I was very worried about my situation, and just sort of putting pen to paper helped think it out. But it's great. I think everyone should try and write a play in their lifetime. It doesn't have to be produced. It doesn't have to be Death of a Salesman, but everyone should write a play, because everyone's voice is unique.
So I definitely agree with that. I don't know if I could write a play, though.
It just lights up, and then you write for however long you want, and then lights down.
So you found that was a good creative outlet. Is that something that helped you stay in college, aside from your parents?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it helped me realize what I wanted to do after college was a lot of it, too.
Oh, yeah? So is this a career path for you?
Yeah, I think I want to write comedy, so actually having a play that other people thought was funny was a good, sort of confidence boost.
Indicator?
Yeah.
So am I going to see you on SNL or something like that?
That would be the goal. That'd be great. I figure, that's probably a little ways away, but I'll go for it.
So how did this whole show come about? Were you approached by the company, or
they send out emails. So I was on their listserv, and then when they're accepting new submissions for the spring or fall semester, they have you write up a little sheet that says summary of all that sort of thing, what you would think about for producing it, and a play that you would like to produce, and then you meet with them. A lot of people, there's not that many student-written plays, but some people do, and sometimes they get produced.
So this production, it's not a full-scale production, right?
No, it's a staged reading. So
tell us about that. What can we expect from that?
Well, the actors will be sitting just like the audience, so it's more intimate.
So you're on the same level.
On the same level, exactly. Figuratively and literally. But it's mostly a reading. It's not going to be memorized, but it's still a good sort of segue, or like a baby. It's like a taste. It's like it's like if you wanted to have a piece of a cake, and you're like, oh, that was delicious cake. Why didn't we just have the whole thing? And be like, no, not yet. Maybe next time.
So are we looking forward to the creamy center here?
I think everyone is. Yeah.
Does your play tackle anything controversial? It's about college, so I can expect some pretty...
Nothing too much. I mean, there's a few shotguns and beers. One of the main characters is a drug dealer, but mostly pot.
So not controversial at all. Nothing
No,
we need to
the
worry
Pope
about.
is in it. It's a little anti-religion. I don't know if you like religion. Well, not like anti-religion, but I think religion would be better if everyone kept it to themselves.
So before you get me in trouble, I'm going to thank you for being my guest today, Stephen. Thank you for joining me. And you can catch Stephen's original play, You Can't Be Successful If You Graduate from College, March 5th at the Lisner Downstage, produced by Generic Theater Company. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem.
And remember, you can always catch up on our sneak peeks by going to gwtelevision.com or checking out our YouTube channel, Backstage GW. I'm Henry Murillo, and I'll catch you next time, Backstage.
Wait, we're backstage right now?
We're in the dressing room.
That's incredible. Because we're on a stage, but we're backstage. There's a stage within a stage, backstage.
Yeah, that's
Hamlet-esque, so much going on.
I like how you were trying to